Hello and welcome to the CTRA Sim Touring Car Cup. This is round 11 of a 12-round series, and we're racing today from Fern Bay Rallycross. That's right, it's off-road today. Now the last two races have been won by Victor Szabo. He now has a 38-point lead over championship rival Patrick Golaski. Hannu Pinola is also in the hunt, just a further 3 points behind. In fact, with it being Rallycross today, we're expecting a good result for Hannu Pinola and Chris Ramish in fourth in the championship behind him. How well will Szabo and Golaski do today? Well, that's going to be pretty much down to how well they can handle the XRT on this loose surface. What do you reckon to that, Tristan?
Hello Becky, it's nice to be here again for the 11th round, and I think it's going to be really quite a promising race today. I suspect Victor Szabo is going to be on damage limitation today with the XRT. He has gone well before in Rallycross and loose surface events, but I think the RB4 is really going to blitz it here. If he can get towards the front, he'll be good, and maybe clinch it in the next round.
I agree with you, Tristan. If Victor can pull out a surprise result here today, then the championship would be his, but I'm not really expecting it to happen. I think it's probably going to finish somewhere around the midfield, and we'll have our showdown in the last race, I think. What about other drivers that might pull a result here today? We've got some other RB4 drivers that could be somewhere near the front.
Yeah, I think Dustin Dawes, he's got this good track record. He goes well on loose surfaces, and he could bring a surprise or two, I think.
Of course, in the STCC we have 3 races in one, and whilst the RB4s will almost certainly be the ones competing for the race win today, the XRT will be having their own race for what we call the midfielder class, where they get their own bonus points for the overall championship, depending on what order they finish in, and also the FXOs, which are our back market cars today, that'll have even more bonus points in their own race than their class races. But for overall results today, we're definitely looking at RB4 domination.
Right, well, let's have a look at the grid for the race. It's Chris Ramish and Hannu Pinola in first and second, both in RB4s. Golaski in third, the highest XRT, with Veermaki alongside him in the RB4. Szabo and Dustin Dawes in the XRT and RB4 respectively. Seventh is Alan Lang, and eighth is Sam Hopkinson in the slowest RB4 today. Ennison and Baker in 9th and 10th, both in FXOs, and on the last row of the grid is Brennan and Green in FXOs, I think. Green's still struggling from a foot injury that we'll hopefully cover at some point later in the show.
Brennan there is actually an XRT driver. Let's have a few messages from our sponsors, and then we'll get on to full uninterrupted coverage of today's feature race. We've got the first light is on, 2 lights are on, and we are green!
Good start by Ramish and Pinola there.
Yeah, great start from Brennan near the back as well. He's got ahead of 3 cars there in his left pass. It's Ramish into the lead. Veermaki is in 3rd position behind Pinola. Golaski is trying to hold on around the outside of the first bend, and he's trying to force Veermaki out now. Golaski is trying to go around the outside of Veermaki in the rear-wheel drive XRT, but he can't hold it. Veermaki has kept 3rd position from him and is chasing after the 2 leaders, which is Ramish and Pinola. But where is Szabo in this gaggle? Looks like he's in about 6th position to me, as Golaski Dawes is there in 5th, and Szabo's off! Victor Szabo has spotted at the home corner! Victor Szabo has gone off. That has messed his championship up big time. We're going to have a championship open in the last round. Surely Szabo is in last position. Pinola is in second. He's behind Chris Ramish. And well, that is a turn up for the books, isn't it? Szabo is normally so consistent. I've not seen him make an error like that all season. But it's come now with the championship is on the cards. Pinola chasing down Ramish for the lead.
I don't think it was an entirely unforced error from Szabo then. I think he got a little bit of a tap just as he was putting the power on, and it went round. He couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I heard some contacts there, and yeah, there was certainly the sound of metal against metal as Pinola's going for the move into the first corner. He moves over, Ramish covers it. Pinola's gone for the outside. He's trying to find a way around the outside, and Chris Ramish from the Americans not having it, and he's holding on firm. Pinola still in second position. Bumaki there to pick up the pieces if the opportunity presents, and Pinola's trying to look around again. There's no room for him as they come down to the hairpin. Pinola all over the back of Ramish, who's taking defensive lines. He swings the back of the car out, but there's no way for Pinola here. Ramish has it covered now. Ramish isn't a defensive driver. We've seen that before earlier in the season. And now we've got a move there. That's Golaski getting swamped by RB4s. He's got Hopkinson on one side, Dawes on the other. Patrick Golaski is absolutely surrounded by UK CT cars. And that's never a good thing. Dawes then has managed to muscle his way past the German, and Hopkinson has as well. So the Canadian and the Brit are through and into 4th and 5th position respectively. Henderson there, I think he just put a move on Lang, and then I kind of lost it in the dirt. I couldn't see anything else. We've got a four-way battle there for 6th position. So that's Golaski, Edison, Lang and Baker down in 9th place. So Dawes then leading Hopkinson for 4th position. Looks to me like Szabo in the back of the picture there is just caught up John Brennan, so he is now back with the tail end of the pack.
Yeah, I think Dawes and Hopkinson are now going to run away a little bit from Golaski in the XRT.
Absolutely, Lang and Edison there banging Dawes as they go through the first few corners. Lang gets it on the inside of Edison. He's trying desperately for that position, and Edison has fought back, and they're scraping Dawes. They've left half of each other's car on each other, and it's Edison who comes out in front. New colours for Frederick Edison, the green and white coloured car today. Lang in his Luxembourg colours, white, blue and red tail, with Baker chasing him hard, and then it looked to me like Jack Green was right on top of Stuart Baker there for 9th place as well. But here we are, here are the leaders. So this is Pinola chasing Ramish still. Pinola has regrouped from his earlier attacks and is now back on the tail of Chris Ramish, and hunting for a way past and to take the lead and to really open this championship up for him, as we're looking at Szabo putting a move there on John Brennan, and doesn't look like he's cleaning through actually. Brennan has held him off, and Szabo is still in last position. It's not looking good for the Hungarian.
I think he might get him now up the start-finish straight. He's got a good run out of there.
Actually, well, I don't know. He's going to have to work for it. Brennan's got the power down better. So, fair play. Brennan is allowed to fight for position, of course. He's not a back marker here. They are fighting for 11th position. Your eyes are not deceiving you. It's all gone wrong for Victor Szabo. As he does eventually reclaim the position and is now up into 11th. He's not back in the points yet. He's got one more place to get for the points. And that'll be Jack Green in 10th place. So that's going to be hard to stomach for the young Brit. As we're looking at a replay here of the first lap. This is what happened to Victor Szabo then. As he comes into the corner, he's gone deep. There are 2 cars on his inside, and, well...
It started off as an unforced error, didn't it? He got a little tap in the end, but the majority of the spin was his fault. That was all his fault.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say particularly... Oh, and that's Stuart Baker. Stuart Baker, the British driver, is upside down. That looks to me like it's somewhere after the jump, going into crossways.
Yeah, I can't tell where that is.
Yeah,
but it's gifted Szabo an extra couple of an extra position, hasn't it? So he's now back in the points just as the safety cars come
absolutely. Out. Yeah, and yeah, we're definitely going to have a safety car for that one. So a reprieve for Chris Ramish at the front. A chance to rest. He was driving very defensively for a lot of the first part of this race, and he's going to be at that steering wheel thanking the Lord for his opportunity to rest his hands and let the sweat pour off, because Pinola was really putting the pressure on the American there. So as we let the field regroup, let's take this chance now to finally talk about Jack Green's injury. We've been promising to do it for ages now. What actually happened to poor Jack? Well, he'd gone to the doctors for a routine procedure. They were sorting out a toenail on his foot. The doctor made a mistake, put acid on his foot instead of cleaning fluid, and basically has melted the skin off. So what the problem Jack's got is he can't push down on the reason he skipped the South City race. He couldn't push down on the pedal. What he's done this race, I believe, is he's actually strapped his foot to the pedal. So that's a replay there at Baker's accident. Huge accident for Stuart Baker.
It certainly was.
Yeah, that's definitely game over. So yeah, no, Jack has strapped his foot to the pedal, and I gather he is in some pain. So he's not quite his usual self today, and he's not lapping as quickly as he'd like. I know that, but credit to him. He's turned up. He's had a go. He was originally going to drive the safety car for us, but he said no, I'll give it a go. I'll try and race, and he's holding on. He's still in there. He's not in last. So credit to the lad.
He's not going to be the first racing driver that's raced with an injury or his foot strapped or something like that. So
absolutely not. But I think, but as far as sim racing goes, there's a lot of commitment.
Well, he could have always used the mouse or something like that if it's sim racing.
Yeah, that's true.
So this will close up the field a little bit. It might be a little bit of a reprieve for Victor Szabo. It won't have so many gaps to catch up, but of course there's going to be a lot more traffic, so swings and roundabouts. Interesting to see.
Yeah, if Szabo can make a good start, he could get a couple of positions here just gifted to him. But I don't think he's ever going to be, with the car he's in, he's not going to be in the situation where he's going to wrap the championship up here today. That's just not going to happen from where he is.
I think with the RB4 advantage, I think if he gets to 7th, I think that'll be driving out of his skin to get up to 7th, to be honest.
Well, let's look at who he's actually got ahead of, because the FXOs and XRTs shouldn't be a problem for him if he wants to be the champion. So he should be able to pass anyone in an inferior or equal car. It's only going to be the RB4s that stop him. So we've got Ramish, Pinola, Vimaki, Dawes, Hopkinson. So he should be able to do, I would say, 6th if he's really going to go for it. Of course, in 6th position at the moment is Patrick Golaski, one of his championship rivals. Currently 2nd in the championship run. That's the yellow and black car you see in the centre of your frame now. So we'll see if he can get that far. One of the things we didn't explain previously, incidentally, is Chris Ramish is now a privateer. He's in UKCT colours. That's the team he'll be driving for next season. He's left the Murrock team, but he's not actually scoring points for UKCT, so that's why he's in a black UKCT car. And we're going to go live this time round. So the safety car's going to pull in. Ramish will have the pack. It'll be up to him as to when he puts his foot down. And as long as he is the first car across the line. Of
course, remember that laps have been counting under the safety car, so now it's 11 laps to go. I think it was probably 13 or 14 when the safety car first came out.
Yeah, so we've got 11 laps here. It's going to be should be flag to the flag. There's not that many cars here, so I
safety car in.
I'm going to get another incident. So yeah, safety car's in. Ramish is holding them and holding. And he's got his foot down, and he's definitely got the jump on Pinola there. So Ramish is leading away, and it looks like Vimaki was just dozing there, because he's dropped right back, and in 4th, Dawes has fallen even further back.
This is Szabo.
This is Szabo making a move on Green. Szabo into the first corner, down the inside on Jack Green, and that's easily through.
He wasn't paying too much attention. I don't think Green was. He could have done a little bit.
No, he's fighting back though. He's having a go back a bit to Szabo, and he's got on the inside, but he's going to lose it here on the right-hander. Unless he can make a run down into the hairpin, Szabo has got him, and he has now secured that position. Szabo now sets about passing Alain Lang, but Green's had a comeback. Grant Green is really doesn't want to give that position up at all. As we come back, who we're riding with here, we're looking at Jack Green ahead of us, and I think we're on board actually with Victor Szabo. And yeah, as we come over the line, Szabo just... And did Green hit his brakes there? I think he went slightly too soon and had to...
Yeah, and I said that Jack didn't... was a bit too asleep, but it turns out he wasn't. He did defend, just he didn't get the jump early enough, so sorry about that, Jack.
He was definitely trying to come back at that area, wasn't he? He really did not let him go. Even here he's still on the inside of Szabo, trying to find his way through. So he definitely had to go back. But Szabo still has it in 9th position. So here we are with the race leaders. Raimish leading, Pinola 2nd, Biamaki still holding on for 3rd, there to pick it up if it all goes wrong.
All 3 of them now pulling away from Dustin as well.
Sam Hopkinson is 5th. Yeah, these 3 have dropped. Dustin Dawes in 4th, with Hopkinson in 5th. Patrick Galaski is in 6th, Frederick Anderson 7th, Alain Lang in 8th, Victor Szabo in 9th, Jack Green in 10th, John Brennan is in 11th position. We look at Raimish and Pinola. Pinola's right with Raimish, isn't he? There's been no let up the whole race. Pinola is right with him. He wants that position, he wants that win.
Maybe Chris and Pinola should do some synchronised rally crossing for an after-season party or something.
Right now, of course, what the team desperately want to do is to get Pinola in front, and then Biamaki in front of Raimish. I'm just wondering if maybe they'll swap cars and be a little bit dirty about it to try and make it happen. But these are all former teammates, of course. They do still get on with each other, so there is a lot of mutual respect between them. So my guess is we won't see any shenanigans like that this round. But of course, Raimish could displace Pinola in the driver's standing, so they desperately want to get Biamaki in between Pinola and Raimish. Pinola goes for a move now, but I think Raimish has got it covered. He's driving so defensively, slow on the apexes, blocking Pinola's exit speed, and he's pretty much got it covered at the moment. It's going to take a mistake from Raimish for Pinola to force his way through, and at the moment it doesn't look like Raimish is going to make one.
A circuit like this, you just don't get any rest. The car's always moving underneath you, whether it's on the tarmac, because you've obviously got dirty tyres. On the loose stuff, it's moving around. You've got jumps, you've got bumps, you've got quite nasty, not apex curbs, but apex rises, ridges, haven't you? This is the only chance you get to sort of sit back and think about what's happening, and even then you've got to think about the first turn, which isn't the easiest.
Yeah, you've got that grass there you have to kind of dodge on the straight, so even the straight you're still working mentally. And it's a tough race physically, because the back of the circuit you're really having to work your arms. And Raimish has got a little bit wide there. That's half a chance for Pinola. Will he make it stick? He's got alongside Raimish, but his dog is going to be on the outside here. Will Pinola keep enough momentum to take a run into the hairpin? It looks like he hasn't managed to do so, and Raimish has managed to hold on desperately from a bit of a moment there for Raimish as he went wide on the exit of the first
Well,
turn.
he did the same thing last lap, and I think he's learned a little bit from that, because he covered the exit a little bit better this time round. So he's obviously under pressure and he's pushing, making a few mistakes, but recovering from them well.
Absolutely, and it is quite hard to overtake in the STCC. Of course, these cars they're identically matched. It's being a simulated sport. There really is no difference at all between any of these cars, except for what the drivers have done in their car setup, the pressures they've set, the angles they've got, the wheels, and so on. But so they really are very, very evenly matched. And Pinola is extremely close to Raimish this time. Pinola's going for the inside. Raimish covers it. Pinola's going to go around the outside of Raimish as we go into the first turn. Raimish has the line covered, but Pinola is sticking with him. And that was a dangerous moment there for the American, as Pinola is so close to him now. Raimish really looks like he's starting to sweat now. He's having trouble holding the Finnish driver back. And Pinola just wants this so much, doesn't he? You can just tell he wants to pass Chris Raimish, and I don't know if Raimish is going to have all the answers to fend him off for very much longer. Vimac is getting in on the action there as well, so it just shows that the two leaders are holding each other up with their driving. And as we're looking here at Golaski and Enerson, and we've had a pass further down the field as well. That's so Lang is down to 9th. It looks like he's been passed by Victor Szabo.
He got him back.
Actually, no, it's the... Yeah, Lang is still in 8th place, so those two are duking it out. Szabo hasn't moved up the field as quickly as we'd expect, has he? With, and, you know, I was kind of expecting him to be sort of up behind Golaski, and that would be the car he'd have to work past, but Lang is doing a grand job of holding him back. Brennan did earlier. Green nearly got back at Szabo as well, so Victor really is struggling here today on this Fern Bay Rallycross circuit, as we're back with the leaders now. Chris Ramish, Hannu Pinola and Henry Virmaki in 3rd position. So the two Finnish drivers in the blue and yellow cars. Pinola there in 2nd place, championship contender. Chris Ramish, the American, in the black and silver car.
Just wondering if Virmaki, if he ever gets a look up the inside of Pinola, do you think he'd have a go? Would he make the pass, try and make it stick?
No, he'll be under team orders at this stage, or if not team orders, he knows the championship situation. It's all about Hannu Pinola for the Muruk team at this stage, because although he's 3rd in the championship, he really is the driver most likely to displace Victor Szabo, because of course Golaski's in an identical car. So you know, even if he substantially beats Victor Szabo in the next round, it's, you know, without the bonus points and so on, he's just not going to do it. So Pinola really is in the strongest place to tackle Victor Szabo, who we're looking at now in the black and red car. So I don't see Henry Virmaki interfering with Pinola at all. 4 laps left to go here at Fern Bay. As we're looking at, again, at the start of the lap, Pinola just looks so much stronger than Chris Ramish. Look, oh, well, Ramish gets a little bit wide there. It looks like a couple of the lead cars are actually getting a little bit out of shape with those first corners. I saw Virmaki in the background getting a little bit looser there, and he lost a bit of time.
So we're looking now at Szabo and Lang in the white, blue and red car. And we've cut back to the leaders again, which, to be fair, is where the interest really lies. Szabo, if he starts getting really close, we'll probably go back to him. But this is changing the championship at the moment.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, in terms of the championship, these are the two interesting fights on the circuit. You've got, you know, Szabo really does need to get ahead on Lang, and of course the battle for the lead as well, which is obviously plenty of points up for grabs there as well. So these are two very important fights, and be very critical fights when the final flag falls at the end of the season. 3 laps left to go. Ramish still leads from Pinola. Virmaki is there. Dustin Dawes is in 4th place still, and Pinola through! Pinola has passed Chris Ramish for the lead, and Pinola is leading. With 3 laps left to go, Chris Ramish has got it wrong. They've lost it. It's on the first turn. We didn't see it. We were looking at the other big battle on the circuit. But Hannu Pinola was throwing contact there between the two cars as Ramish overshoots on his braking point, and that's cost him a little bit of time. And Ramish is now very much in 2nd position. By overshooting his braking there, he's basically just handed that back to Pinola, and unless he composes himself and knuckles down for these last few laps, there is no comeback at all from that. Let's take a look at it. Pinola gets on the inside, and this time Ramish couldn't cover it. Pinola caught him by surprise then, got the inside, and then that was it. Game, set and match to Hannu Pinola. That has definitely helped the Finns championship chances.
Yeah, well done to him. The pass started a lot earlier than we saw. Probably got a slightly better run out of this last corner that we've just come out of now, and carried the advantage all the way down the straight, just alongside him, just enough just to outbrake him.
Absolutely, and you can see Ramish is already fading there. So Pinola is just breaking free now with 2 laps left to go. Hannu Pinola looks like he's set to win this race. Szabo is still stuck in 9th position as we look at John Brennan in 11th. He's had a little bit of an offer there that has got going again. So that has kept the championship alive. A bad race for Victor Szabo, languishing down with just a handful of points. Hannu Pinola looks like he's going to take the checkered flag here at Fern Bay. with just one more round of the championship to go after this. Double points next round, don't forget. It's an endurance race, 1 hour long, and we'll have our new starting system on show as well. We've got a new starting system in the STCC, so you'll get to see that next round and see exactly what we're going to do with that, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise for you just yet. So here we are with the leaders, Pinola, as he's just got it wrapped up, hasn't he?
Certainly has. He's pulling out a lead. This is Szabo, who really isn't laying under as much pressure as I thought he would have done. I would have thought he would have been past him, but even if he isn't, I would have thought it would be right up behind him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to get past at all there. So it looks like the race is pretty much settled. Usually with the STCC there's some kind of drama in the last couple of laps, and the race tends to liven up. It's become something of a standing joke. Then in the last couple of laps is when the race happens in the STCC. We've got 2 laps left here to go, and there's just not much happening at the moment. All the fields pretty much spread out, and I think we're just kind of waiting for the inevitable checkered flag. So Pinola first, Ramish second, Vimaki third, Dawes fourth. So the top XRT then is Glasky, and that's Szabo going for a move around the outside of Lang. Victor Szabo taking around the first corner, going around the second, is still on the outside. There's contact between them, but Lang has kept the place, so Szabo did an all or nothing with 2 laps there left to go. And Szabo is still trying to get past Lang, but there's no way through. He's going wide for the outside, slings the back out. He's going to try and get the power down early enough, but it didn't work out for him, and he is still in 9th position. Just as I was saying, nothing else is going to happen. As ever, the STCC springs back into life, but it looks like Lang pretty much has that covered now. So we're looking at Chris Ramish in second. It's looking like Vimaki's actually getting quite close to him, but we're on the last lap now. So there's little chance that Vimaki's going to have the opportunity to pass him. This is Dustin Dawes in 4th position. We didn't get to see much of him because he's pretty much been out on his own. So a fairly uneventful, solid race for him. And Hopkinson's under fire from Patrick Glasky. Hopkinson is being passed. Glasky's going around the outside, and it looks to me like Hopkinson's front left suspension has collapsed. They're going to be struggling to slow the car down. And Glasky is through, takes 5th position. That'll be 5th overall and the win for the XRT class. And yeah, Hopkinson is definitely struggling. He's done some damage to his car there, and you can see he's really...
You can just about hear the tyre. You can just about hear the tyres skipping, can't you? And I think he's going to come under pressure from Enerson just behind him in a corner or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're looking at Tony Pinola taking the win then. So as for off-road, it's 3 out of 3 for Pinola. He's absolutely dominated all of the Rallycross this season. So definitely king of the Rallycross. Pinola wins. Chris Ramish is in second. Vimaki comes home in 3rd position. So Finland, America, Finland. This is Canada, 4th position. Dustin Dawes for the UKCT Blue Team. In 5th place then, Germany, Patrick Glasky for the ART team. And at 6th place is decided as Enerson has got it up the inside of Hopkinson and is through. Enerson will take the FXO class win and come 6th overall. The Norwegian driver in his own privateer colours now has taken 6th position from the British driver Sam Hopkinson for the UKCT Red team. And that's Glasky doing one of his post-race stunts. It's always entertaining driver. And 8th place then, Luxembourg, Alain Lang. 9th place, Hungary, Victor Szabo. 10th place, Britain, Jack Green. And 11th will be Britain, John Brennand.
Pinola really showed his class at the end there. He passed Ramish with 4 laps to go, I think it was. And by the end, he was 6 seconds ahead, which is 1.5 seconds a lap. That's stunning pace. Don't like to think what the lead would have been if it passed him earlier in the race.
Absolutely, he just had this completely under control, didn't he? He is the master of Rallycross, unquestionably. There's not that much Rallycross racing in sim sports, but Pinola definitely the class there. I've got to adjust where they're tooting their horns there. I can barely hear myself think as we're looking at how many points they've earned this race. So Szabo, as you can see, really hasn't bagged that many points at all, and a clean sweep for Tony Pinola. So that brings the championship lead down to 27 points with double points to play for next round, so a solid finish for Szabo will secure him the championship at the last round, but he didn't get one today. And next round it is Kyoto National Reversed. It's a track that suits the XRT, so there'll be less points on offer for Victor Szabo. And plenty of opportunities then for Pinola to put some fight into this championship as we look at Hopkinson's very damaged car come home. So from me, Becky Rose, it's ta-ra.
From me, Tristan, ta-ra as well, but I think I've been cut off.